Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Today, we are going to be looking at the second of two sets that were provided to me by Syeindunce Audio. This is another Tipsy, that is their brand, and this one is the Tromso. Tromso is actually, with one T, a city in Norway that is renowned for, well, among other things, Northern Lights viewing. So, you can see that. That's Tromso, and that's the Aurora Borealis, which is pretty freaking cool. Secondary name on this is the Pinestone Sea, and I believe that does have to do with the color scheme that they've put on the faceplate. So let's take a look at these guys, and we'll do some tech specs and a quick unbox as well. This is not the cable that comes with them, but it is the cable that I used for testing. This is a 4.4 terminated cable that comes with both the, let's see, the Plutus Beast and the Pandemon 2 Canary Celeste. We'll move that out of the way for the time being so we can look at what you get. Build quality on these, I would say, is very good. It is a 3D printed shell. It has a pretty small diameter nozzle and a pretty small diameter on the opening there as well. That led me to do some tip rolling, as you might imagine. There is right and left indication, Tromso there, and this really cool vent right here. It looks like to be gold plated or possibly copper. That venting, I think, is one of the things that helps make this IM, or these IMs, so amazing. If you look into the shell, look deep into the shell, semi-transparent, you can see the driver in there. And speaking of the driver, it is a single dynamic driver, 12mm liquid crystal polymer. That's your configuration. So people that love single DDs rejoice, because this is an excellent rendition of a single DD for sure. Okay, rest of the technical specs, you have a sensitivity of 109 decibels. Resistance is 24 ohms, not 240 as it looks like on some websites. It's actually a 24 ohm resistance, so nothing out of control. These are very sensitive IEMs. I think that their sensitivity belies their specs, because they get loud quickly and they get very loud without any distortion. So just bear that in mind. Don't have these, if you plug them in, don't go with your usual volume setting, because it might hurt you. Anyway, back to the tech specs and the unboxing. Inside the box, you get some really nice folder with paperwork. Looks like, hey, they're the Northern Lights right there. Nice. Postcard and owner's manual and such. A little crepe paper with a very nice gold design on it. See if I can get this out of the way without wrecking it. As you can see here with cutout, the IMs came with cable attached, nestled in this nice styrofoam sparkly stuff. And then below that, actually, there's another box here, which I'm not going to get out. But this is where everything was. So tips, polishing cloth, and stock cable. We'll go over that in a moment. That's what you get. I like the presentation. It's not overdone. It comes with pouch, just like the Star and One did. Fine. You know, it's not a protective situation. It does protect from dust, but not from like crush or water or anything like that. So it's a front pocket carry, or it's an in your bag carry for sure. But light, convenient, no complaints there at all. So what you get is what you get. For $90, I have no complaints. You know, if it were like twice as expensive, I'd want a grander presentation, maybe some more ear tips and an upgraded cable. But for $90, I think this is fine. The cable is serviceable with really nice, you know, fittings, terminations, gold plated. This is definitely aluminum. It's high polish. The Y split is the same. 2-pin, as you can see, 2-pin 0.78 for your connection. It is slightly tangly, I will say that, you know, but once you get it situated, you're fine. And only complaint about this cable really is that a little tangly, but also, and it's not that it's thin because it doesn't feel cheap. It's a fabric insulation, like a fabric cover. The chin slider is kind of useless, unfortunately, but you don't need it. I'll get into why on the fit. Yeah, just, and also very, very slightly microphonic, but only, you know, while there's no playback going on, you can hear the chin slider a little bit going up and down if you try to use it. But none of that is audible while you're listening to music, really, no matter what volume you're listening to it at. So, okay, on the cable, I like the idea. I always like the idea of fabric cables, and then in practice they're just not as functional as I'd prefer. You don't have to cable swap, but you'll want to, and I'll tell you why. On the fit, in a minute. On the fit and the finish, as I said, it's a very smooth, polished finish. Obviously, good care was taken into this. The faceplate has some nice detail. Tipsy is on there. It's a little sparkly bluish green if you can't quite see it. The fit on these is exceptional. You see that it's not a very big shell. Maybe I'll bring out the Nova so you can see how, you know, it compares to that. In fact, I will. But that makes the fit on these exceptionally comfortable. You can see it comes to a little point down here. This sort of cutaway that they did is perfect because it does not interact with your ear at all. Not your tragus or antitragus or whatever part of the concha that is. They literally go in your ears and disappear. So comfort for long listening sessions is exceptional. Let's bring out the Nova since it's right here so you can get an idea of the shell size in comparison. Now, we all know the Nova is single BA or single DD 4BA. Let's take a look at that. There is quite a difference, but also some similarities in the design, you know, because the Nova's big, but it does fit pretty well too. So, excellent. Anyway, let's put this guy away so we don't get confused. I'm really excited about this set. I think that it's an excellent performing set. We'll get into all of the sound quality and frequency response, but if you're this far into the video, this is the exciting part for me. There's going to be a giveaway of this set on this channel, and it will be the first company sponsored giveaway for my channel. So at the end of the video, I'll explain to you how to qualify. You don't need to be a subscriber, and I'm not going to ask you to be one, but we'll get into how you can actually qualify to win this set. It's very cool. I think it's very nice of Syeindunce to provide this. These were provided to me. You won't get this set. This is mine. But you will get a new set, a new inbox, factory sealed. They're going to send it to me, and then I will send it to you. And they're actually going to reimburse me for shipping and stuff like that. So no matter where you are in the world, you can win it. No worries. That's pretty cool. Quick note on Syeindunce, they're an up-and-comer in the IM world, so if you think about the big boys like Hi-Fi Go, Linsol, Shenzhen, Apos, places like that, these guys are coming up into that area. They're on the smaller side now, but they will be coming out with new IEMs, and some acquisitions are coming, and so they've included me in this growth stage, and I couldn't be happier. That said, these are still going to get an objective review. Luckily for me, it's another really good set from them. So I don't have to worry about that. But anyway, yes, all thoughts and opinions are my own, and nobody has asked me to say anything about these, nor have they compensated me in any other way besides providing the set for review. So there we go. You know, with me, you're gonna get the straight shit, because I don't really know any other way to shoot. So The cloth comes in there too for polishing purposes, and the tips are your standard sort of more narrow bore on these guys. Small, medium, and large, and then you get a set of foams, which I did not use. I found the tips on this set to be adequate, but I'm kind of used to my tips now, so as you can see, the Divinous Velvets are on there. Medium on the right, large on the left, because of my different sized ear canals. Other tips that I was really happy with on these, God, cat hair everywhere. I really liked how the TRI Clarions worked. I really liked how the Osla X-Lastics and Crystal tips worked, and again with the vocal tips from Canera. So those were the faves: Divinous Velvet, TRI Clarion, Osla Crystal. Just the Crystal tips. I didn't try the other ones. And again, the vocal tips from Canera. I'm not sure if you can buy those separately or not, but I'm sure you can somewhere. Anyway, back to it. So, after all that fun stuff, how did they sound? All right. So, this is a really neat thing, okay? You've got the Star-in-One, which is very referencey, very transparent, very energetic in the ear gain and in the treble, very detail-oriented, very highly resolving, really a great set, especially if you're a musician or a sound engineer of some kind, right? This is the fun sibling. So it's not like it's lacking in any way as so far as technicalities go. Let me get that dust cloth out, actually. Because it's not. It's just not as focused on that. The focus of the Tromso is bass and musicality, which makes it perfect complement to the Star-in-One. I was going to save this comment to the end, but I'm just going to say it now. Rather than buying a single set for $150 or $200, you could buy these two sets, the Star-in-One and the Tromso, and have two completely different tunings of equal quality, and just have the ability to have a choice, right? I think it's a pretty cool idea. Because they're both $90. I think the Star-in-One is on sale right now for $72 on Amazon on the Syeindunce site storefront. I'll link that again. So if you're looking at $160, $170 for two sets that do two completely different things but are both really good, sign me up for that for sure. All right, back to the Tromso. So, what does it do really well? Bass, bass, and more bass. The sub bass has got some rumble. Again, not hugely extended into the sub bass, but enough to be satisfying. The real star of the show on these guys is the mid bass. The mid bass is just so satisfying. It is so present. It is articulate. It is detailed. It's not bloated. It doesn't bleed. It's just, there's a lot of it. A lot of really, really good, decisive mid bass. And what that does, as you might imagine, it brings some warmth to the set, thickens up the note weight a little bit, and makes it an amazing set for hip-hop, R&B, pop, K-pop. Things along those lines are just brilliant on this set. The mids, I would say, are lightly recessed, but they're still present. They still have good presence. They're kind of warm and engaging. Not super forward, but as you get into the one thing that this has in common with its sibling is it's got the energy and the ear gain and the pinna gain. So that brings the mids a little more forward than I think they normally might be with a set that has this much bass to it. So really nice job in the tuning. And then as far as the treble goes, you've got a little extension, a little bit of air, really nice detail, but fairly relaxed. I would not call this a dark set. I want to see that driver again. I would not call this a dark sounding set, because I think it has too much energy in the pin gain, 2 to 3K. But it's not a super bright set either. Like, it is definitely a little darker than its sibling, the Star in One. Star in One definitely leans more towards the mids and the treble in its presentation. This leans more towards the bass, and I would say, again, an upper mids, lower treble is pretty good energy there too. Actually, excellent energy there. So you get a really balanced, nice, mild V-shape tuning on these, which again makes them pretty amazing for those genres that I mentioned. Now, let's not leave anything out, okay? Were they good with metal? Oh my god, yes. Did Meshuggah sound amazing on them? Yes, whether it was the Obzen recording or whether it was the newer Immutable recording, difference being 2444.1 versus 2496, both albums sounded choice on the Tromso. Again, did they handle Slaughter to Prevail? Oh my god, yes, they did. I would say better than the Star in One because of the bass response. And they handled the distortion just a little bit better, probably because the treble's slightly more relaxed. So they were a full go on that. And the brightest, most high-tone track that I have, really I think of any genre, but in metal particularly, Queensryche, I Don't Believe in Love, I could listen to on this because of the bass response, balancing out that really bright signature to that particular recording. So wow, all-rounder, yes, go. Jazz sounded fine. You've got good imaging, you've got good instrument placement, you got a nice sort of live feel to it. Same with classical. Classical sounded great. Any sort of acoustic type music was really, really good. Vocals wise, Melody Gardot's the big test. If she's too forward and intoxicating and in your face, she was not on these. I was surprised. I thought that she was going to be literally like sitting in my lap and like breathing in my face. No, she was back. She was probably good, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 feet away and singing very sweetly. So nice on that for sure. Oh yeah, and then stage, as far as like Headstage goes, Soundstage, Headstage, that kind of thing, these guys were oh so good at the 3D presentation, whether it was Attention from New Jeans or Boca from Dreamcatcher or Subterranean Homesick Alien and Letdown from Radiohead. The 3D effects are in full effect. Very, very immersive. I wouldn't call the stage hugely wide or hugely high, but deep. So you do feel like you're in it. If that makes any sense to you. Like, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily going above your head or outside of your ears, but it definitely has the depth to it where you feel like you're immersed in the music, especially in tracks that are mixed and mastered in that 3D type of way. Another thing to note about these, and this is with Mastodon. Okay, so Mastodon, there's a lot of stuff going on in their tracks in the upper mid-range and the lower treble. Like multiple guitars, keyboard, drums, like everything's kind of just like siphons into that area, and it can get very congested very quickly and somewhat distorted on the wrong set and just hard to listen to. These handled that congestion with ease. Everything was separate, everything was clear, nothing was muddied, nothing was masked. It was just all right there. Exceptional performance in that upper mid-range. I will caution you, there is energy there. Okay, so there's a good amount of energy in that upper mid-range. But as long as it's not fatiguing to you, it's great because of the clarity and the definition and the details. Awesome. So again, I would say this is another winner from Tipsy and Syeindunce. And I will remind you that... I want to bring this up really quick. I found this. So there are just a couple of people on here already. Anybody who comments on the video, subscriber or not, like or not, whatever you have to say, fine. Anybody who comments will be put in this wheel, and it's a random generator, right? So that's pretty cool. So there will be a winner of the Tromso selected. I will do this in a short, probably tomorrow. Give everybody a chance to comment. Maybe I'll do it like end of day tomorrow, so we get a full 24 hours plus another afternoon and evening. I'll do it on a short, and then I'll post it Tuesday, probably Wednesday morning. We'll post the winner, and there you go. I'm excited about this. This is fun, especially since it doesn't cost me anything. Anyway, no, it's really cool. Syeindunce is very cool for providing the set. I'm stoked about it. Conclusions on this guy. $90. Yes, it's a go. Metal rating, 9 out of 10. Anytime you can handle Meshuggah, Slaughter to Prevail, and Queensryche without having to change anything, yeah, that's a 9 out of 10. I don't know if I'll ever get to a 10 out of 10. We'll have to see about that. Nothing's hit perfection yet. On the overall sound quality, I'm just really impressed. I think it's a perfect complement to the Star in One. As I mentioned, having both sets would be a perfect combination. On the cable, I did find that using the 4.4, not even an expensive 4.4, you can do a Sony or a Canara cable or a... Oh, who's the other one that does it? TRN. I think they do cables really well. Yep. Triple as well. Sony. I would recommend highly to get a 4.4. It's not just about the volume, because these get plenty loud on a 3.5. It did seem to open them up and make them a little bit more dynamic than just having the 3.5. Possible has something to do with the cable, the inner material of the cable, copper, silver-plated copper, whatever the mix is. But I think more it was to do with the 4.4, just having that extra juice going to them. I don't know. It seemed like it did something versus the stock cable. So that would be a recommendation. Hey, if you buy both sets, you can even swap between the two, so you don't have to buy two cables. And the tip recommendation, I'd go with the Divinus velvet tips on them as well. Just my personal recommendation. You want to stay all stock? All good. It works just fine. You won't have any lack of volume, that is for sure. You could drive these by taking off a fleece or scuffing your feet across a rug. Honestly, they could run off static electricity, I think. So yeah, with that, I think we're going to wrap the video. Again, please comment below to qualify to win the TIPSY TTROMSO. Please do. And I thank you always, as always, for your comments, for your subs, for your likes, your interaction, your kind words, your suggestions. Everything is really awesome. It's making the channel better, so thank you for doing that and helping. And thank you again to Syeindunce for providing the set to give away. That's it. Nothing but love to you. I love y'all. We'll see ya.